Shan and Tam fam, welcome to the Real Talk podcast. On this podcast, we talk about real issues. We talk about parenting, love, family, friendships, and everything in between.
It is our hope that you will journey with us through some critical conversations. We would like for you to drop us a comment, to share the conversation, and to let us know what you would like to see us talk about on Real Talk. So welcome again, Shan and Tam fam. We are here with a sister, a friend. You know, she's a regular to Shan and Tam, Ms Fabulous. And we are excited to have her with us tonight. Fabian is going to talk to us a little bit about realignment, refocus, and self-care, and what this means for her for 2023. So we're going to jump right into it, fam. So, Miss Fabulous, it is always a pleasure to have you with us. And, you know, you're just a ray of sunshine. As I tell you, you're a whole vibe by yourself. So tell us, why this topic?
Well, for me, this topic came about from, last year I started to, as the year dwindled down, I always kind of want to come up with a focus for the next year. And I said to myself, I did a lot last year. I felt like I accomplished so much, did a lot of what I wanted to do and did a lot for others. And then I said to myself, you know what?
Yes.
This year, I'm really going to switch focus and just focus on myself. A little bit of selfish, a little bit self-care and realign all my upcoming events and kind of really focus in getting zoomed in for 12 months. And at first it was a little bit like hard, to say, really, you're married, you have 3 kids, you have friends, but then I said, what good am I if all I am is good to other people? I have to be good to Fabian.
Real talk. Real talk, Ms. Fabulous. Because at the end of the day, you hit the nail on the head. If you're not good to you, how can you be good for them?
How can I
be good for them? Right? And I'm happy to hear that you have taken that stance to say, listen, I need to realign myself. I need to pour back into Fabian because I see all I go gym. I mean, so with Fabian find time. She all go gym at night time. She gonna dinner with this first year. She there spa next week. Sometimes I wonder with Fabian find time for do all of this.
And you know what it comes down to, Shani? It's really prioritizing yourself.
Yeah.
And when you put yourself first and you book time out for yourself and you're like, I have a date with me. And so I'm going to keep it. Just like I keep my appointments with my friends or even my commitment for work. I got to be at work at 9 or I got to be there at 8 or I got to be at a meeting at 10 and you make it. It's the same thing. I said, I got to get to the gym for an hour and a half, 4 times a week. I have it scheduled and this is me time. I plan out my months. I say, okay, I'm taking, it's so funny. This year I told myself that I'm taking 1 day off for each month for self-care.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you're already accountable to that. So 1 day per month.
Accountable. So I went in my vacation and I booked them. I said, okay, this day for the whole year that I'm taking a day off simply for me, and I will decide who I want to spend that day with. So if I want to do it by myself, and if I want to share it with somebody, or if I want to share it with a group, but it is going to be something that I decide. And I'm so sorry. I said to myself, you know what? Who feel we as, but this is what I gotta do for me.
Yeah, for do what you have to do for you. And when you do that, you're better for everybody else. You're a better spouse, you're a better mother, you're a better employee, you're better for everybody else, right? And because you in yourself feel whole.
You're whole, the way you think, the way you process stuff. I find that I've only been on this trip for like a month and it's February. I realize I'm even managing my temperament, things that used to agitate me or trigger me off. I'm a lot more mindful. My word for 2023 is temperance. And for me, that is controlling everything. Either it's your emotion, It's controlling what you eat. It's controlling the time that you spend. It's all about control. And that's what I said I'm going to do for 2023, which is perfectly in line with my realignment, refocus, and self-care.
Real talk. Real talk. There are so many things that you've said there, Fabian, because one of the things that I always say is that you have enough hours in the day to do everything that you want to do, right? And I found that, so it was interesting to me that you just said that you actually book it in your calendar, because I realized that that's the only way that you're really going to be able to do the things that you need to do or that you want to do for yourself, because you can so easily get carried away booking everything else, like you said, keeping that appointment for somebody else, taking the kids here, doing this for the hubby, doing this for the house, doing this for church, and then you end up kind of default saying, but I don't have any time to do this for me. I don't have any, right?
When it's true, you always get left. Always is the one that you say, I'm not going to break an appointment with this person, but I will break it with me.
Yes. No. You have to book yourself into that calendar as well, right?
And I like that you're actually going in and booking it for the year.
I do. Yes. I book it for the year. And when someone call me and be like, oh, Fabian, I'm doing this. I say, I'm so sorry that day's booked. I'm so sorry that day's booked. I'm so sorry. And I feel at first I was like, oh my God, this is so hard, because technically this is a day that's almost free, but it isn't free. It is a book day, and I am not going to take on any assignments or any kind of venture on that day, because that day is my day.
And the thing about it too is, I don't know if this reached you as a mom, as a wife, the vacation days that you usually have you found that in the past your vacation days used to be used for appointments for this one, appointment for that one,
like appointment, doctor appointment,
first day of school, doctor's appointment, school game. Your entire life is booked and reserved around your children. Then you have the stuff at church, that women's ministry meeting, and then you have this event coming up in church, and everything takes precedence in your calendar, and you do that year after year after year after year. And sometimes you do get burnt out. You get absolutely burnt out, but you say, next month, and next month never come, or the weekend
never come.
You know how far when the weekend come, how busy it is. You're clean, you do grocery shopping, you got church. There is no self-care in the weekend.
I know.
I was saying that to Tam. Tea for the end of the week.
Yeah. Do what we have to do, because in a week.
And you're not even the thief the day. The day is yours to use really for something that is supposed to be fun, that's supposed to be light, that's what your days are for. And then the other thing I kind of liked when you talked about too, the fact is that you have to take care of yourself in order to be so much better for everybody else around you. And I tell my kids all the time, sometimes my husband and I go away on vacation. We just the two away.
Yes.
We've been away on weekends. We've been away on a week. And they're like, and people ask me too, they're like, you're leaving your kids? Yes, I left them. Yes, I left them. Why?
They'll be fine. They'll survive.
Because them apart of me stressed every day too.
Exactly.
So, and I tell the kids,
you need a minute.
Yeah, we tell them we'll love you even more when we come back, because we'll be in such a much better headspace.
Yes, to unwind and just really have some me time or some couples time. Yeah. You'll have a better parents, and you'll have better people in the house, because we're not so snappy dappy, because we've taken some time for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
So talk to us about the realignment piece. What exactly does that mean for you right now?
The funny thing is, the one thing, I don't know if you ladies probably know this, because I watch your podcast and I hear a lot of giving. And when you're a giver, you attract a lot of takers.
Real talk.
Real talk.
And so you pour in and you give, and people take, walk away, and come back for a refill.
Yeah.
And so you're constantly pouring into the same people over and over and over and over again. And I said to myself sometime, these people never pause and think, say, maybe I should pour and reinvest back into this person that I go to all the time.
Yeah.
And so I realized that the problem is not the takers. The problem is me, who's the giver. So I got to realign myself and say, Fabian, how much of your time do you want to give? One of my phrases that I added to my vision board this year is, how can we help you? So this isn't about me, Fabian, now, who I always was. How can I help you? How can I help you? Because I am taking on all of that to help you. So how can we help you? It's a together theme. And that is sort of my realignment for this year, to say, Fabian, don't take on so much because you are naturally a giver.
You're naturally a giver.
Naturally a giver. So I got to realign that and say, well, you're looking for this, but what part do you play in your support?
Oh, wow. That's powerful. Like, I never even stopped to think about that, which is so true as you're talking about it. Yeah, people will take as much as you will give.
And they're not going to say no.
Not going to say no. So the problem isn't them. The problem is the giver.
Yeah.
Realign now, Fabian. Get in line with, okay, let's work this out. Not that I won't give, because naturally that's who I am. Right. But we're going to change that up and align that. And the moment you can't come alongside me to help you, we're not going to go very far, because you're not expecting me to carry all the burdens of carrying you and bringing you in line. And in 2 weeks, you'll fall right back off because your alignment was always based on me lining you. No, we're going to do this together. So when I pull away, you can still walk and you can still stay in your order and you can still propel.
That is powerful, Fabian.
I really like the idea of deciding how much do you want to give. I really like that, because it really gives you parameters too, in terms of you really don't have to deplete yourself all at once, right? So and that's what we tend to do sometimes. Like, we just, because as you said, we are these givers, we just give it all. And then sometimes you don't even have enough to try and pull yourself up back to be refilled. Like,
and the funny thing is, takers never know that. They never stop to think that you might need a moment. It's always
them just like, a take.
Them just a take. And every time they come, it's like, what do you mean? This is what you do. Yes, but at the end of the day, I am someone too. And I also have my own burdens to carry. So I'm not going to be an unloader this year. I'm realigning. And the change, I already seen it. I already feel like a lot of, oh my God, you've changed. I haven't changed. I've just realigned. And so you will feel the punch because you are a taker. And so now that I'm in line and you have to come in line to help support you, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, Fabian, because sometimes we get in a space where enable people, right? Yes. We enable people. So I like that. How can we help you? Yes. It's not just me, but how can we do this?
Help you.
Right?
I'm telling you, Shanique, I started doing, because I'm going for my degree in counseling. And
that's awesome.
Myself, and I make time for school, girl. I have school on Mondays, and I'm like, I take my
that is awesome.
I go to the library and I read. And as I begin to do the couple introductory course, I realized that if I'm going to go into this thing, I got to counsel myself first. And a couple of the things before I start expecting people to apply these principles that I hopefully will teach them is, have you taken the advice for yourself? So right now I'm in the counseling Fabian stage where I'm applying those principles and getting those things that I don't have in line. And I feel like it's the perfect timing. I started my first course last year and I'm doing it part-time, so it's going to take me a hot minute, but that's okay. I got time.
But you will get there. You will get there.
So I'm applying those principles to my life. and making those change now before I step in a role that requires a lot of giving, and then I already have so much takers in my life that even when I reach there, I can see how I'm still going to be overpouring, even now with the skills that I've learned. So I'm learning to align early.
Love it. I love that, sis. I love that. And it's so refreshing each time we speak with you because you always bring something else. I was saying to Tam, boy, Fabian introduced me to this spa. What's the session that they told, how much o'clock a morning? And I was like, Fabian, why you there at the spa do so long? Right? But simple, realignment, self-care. You said you're red.
Yeah.
Yes.
Self-care.
You said you're red and you took care of yourself.
Yes. I take the day off. I land there 11 and I ain't leaving until 1:30, 1:45 the next day. I spend the entire day. And it's my spot. Yes. I said self-care, my downtime. I turn my phone off. I put it away. You know, I have to do my little picture of them and thing. And then that's it. No phone. No phone calls, just some unwind time. And isn't the place beautiful? It is
beautiful.
It's so zen. It's so beautiful. It's so peaceful. It's so just relaxing. We feel about 15 pounds lighter when we walk out of there.
What?
Just because you've totally just refreshed yourself, your mind, your body. And like you said, phone call, if you deliberately take that time,
you have to
just let it go. There's so much space for you to just
unwind.
Unwind and fill yourself back up. And I'm thinking about your idea of realignment, and what came to mind was when you have your vehicle and you over time your wheels
come on
you want a tune up. No,
you want a tune up. Think about even your wheels right? Winter time, you put on the winter tires, so now you're kind of gearing up for another season, right? And you change your tire, you have to realign the wheel then.
Are you not going nowhere?
Absolutely.
You're not going to go the way you're trying to make a left turn and a right here and make you
it makes total sense. Total sense.
Have to tune up. I love it, Fabian. I love it. So what would you say to our listeners in terms of those who say they can't find the time for self-care, or they're struggling with this concept of realignment? What would you say to them and refocus? Because I think it's something that we all should take advantage of, but you will have some people that will say, I can't find the time. I'm struggling to parent. I'm struggling to manage relationships. I'm struggling with school. I'm struggling with that. Financially, it's hard. It's a difficult season of financially for a lot of people, right? So what would you say to listeners in terms of some little things they can do to help them with that realignment and self-care piece?
Shan, it's so funny you should say that, because in all aspects, I think we've all walked down that road of being in that season that you just expressed, either the busyness with kids, financially, time management. It is something that I feel like majority of people struggle with, and later on probably will get a hang of it. But in the midst of it, it's the small things that you do. Sometimes it's just taking a coffee break and go to Tim Hortons, even sometimes by yourself, or Starbucks, even if that's, whatever your little coffee spot is, 15, 20 minutes just to stop from every commitment that you have and just sit there and drink a coffee. A coffee is what? $2.50? Something that is just my moment. Find the fireplace, something that you could just sit there. You could just look in the fireplace. Your mind is not racing with the 50 million things. You just said, this is my 15-minute pause this week. It doesn't have to be something that you do every day. Sometimes it might be a 15-minute pause for the month.
Yeah.
But you need a pause. It could be just taking an hour and get yourself a massage. If you have benefits at work, listen, man, find a registered masseuse and get that 70% or 80% off.
Yes.
And
yes.
all you have to do is pay a little bit out of pocket. Can we use the benefits that we work for?
Exactly.
We let go by and the years go by.
Preach it. Because years go by and we don't touch it.
We don't use it.
Yeah,
we work so hard.
Companies pay into it every year and we just say, oh, I never made. Take 1 hour for yourself and say, I am going to get a massage. If you like your nails done, listen, when you go to that nail shop, turn the phone off. Sit there, get pampered, get your nails done, get your toes done, whatever is your little thing. Even going to the hairdresser.
Yes.
You can turn that into your self-care time. I'm going to the hairdresser. I'm pausing. I want to get my hair done because I always feel cute and nice when the hair done up. Just that that you get, take the time with it. Sometimes if you have the younger kids, and I get it, listen, if you have aunts and uncles, utilize them. I always say to moms, we always want to be super moms. There's nothing wrong with asking for a little help.
For help.
Drop them by their grandparents and say, Mom, I need an hour. Let them spend some time with grandma. Ask grandma to come over. Or if you go to church, teenagers are always looking for babysitting opportunity. Reach out and get a teenager for 1 hour a month or every 2 weeks to come in, babysit for an hour. Minimum wage is what, $15.75. Tap that up to $20. And
real talk.
Outside and spend an hour alone. At first, it's gonna be a little bit weird, because now you're just by yourself. If you want to invite another mom or another girlfriend, you can do that. But start with just you. Because now you're getting to know who you are, having thoughts. Get a little book. I'm all about the book. I'm a little fabulous book here, and write down some things that you want to see.
Why me for love you?
I know. Fabulous book. Little things that I want to see manifest in my life. Because one thing I've learned is write the vision down. When you write and make it plain. Down, when you look at it at the end of the year, you say, I may accomplish all of this. What do you want to see in your life? What do you want to see manifest? What do you want to see come to terms? And those are little things that you can do for yourself. That's self-care. Yes, when you get up and up, like, Tam and Shan and me and thing, we can't go spa. But until then, do the little things them.
Do the little things them.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Oh man,
very
practical. Love you, Ms Fabulous.
Very practical things, all things that I have myself done. A couple evenings, me sit down outside Baskin Robbins with me, one scoop of ice cream. I just have a minute.
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, no, but these are all very practical things. And like you said, it doesn't have to cost a lot, and you don't even have to do something where you have to spend money. Because I have driven to the park and just sat there in my car. I'm one for audiobooks, and I will take a half an hour there, not driving, just sit down and listen to my book.
Yes.
And you don't know what it does for the mind to just like release everything, all the stressors and everything that you've accumulated over the day or weeks or whatever, and just have a minute. So I love all these very practical things that you've told us, and endorse them wholeheartedly.
100%.
Is there any one thing that we haven't really touched on that you want to just drop on the listeners before we let you go?
Yes, man. One thing I want to talk about too is because relationship is so important. And me, I'm big on relationship and I'm big on companionship. And sometimes we feel like self-care is taken away from our time with our spouse. But I'm telling you that you can even do self-care with your spouse, which is exactly what Tam talked about, just going away on the weekend or going away on the week. But even when you're taking that time for yourself, because for me, it was a little bit, I felt a little bit guilty because me have to roll out to that bed at 6 o'clock in the morning for God gym, or roll out to the bed, at 10 o'clock, me and me I run got a gym, and he's like, oh, boo, you're going now? And at first, I want to say no, because I know if he's saying you have to go now, I really want me to cuddle up. But I have to.
She a lion.
But I have to, sometimes I have to say, boo, you know what? This is for me. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to say. This is for me, and this is what's going to give me that energy and give you a healthy wife because of the investment that I'm making in myself. And understand that you're not being selfish by saying, yes, I do got to roll out of this bed 6 o'clock and leave you in at 8 hours. May have to leave you for run, got the gym and come out. Because when you come back energized and your mind is clear, because sometimes you're just lying in the bed and your husband don't even know all the million things that go through your head as women, because we think about everything. We're constantly thinking. But when you work out, when you go for a walk, when you take that minute, you clear your head, and so you're coming home rejuvenated, you're coming home better for him. So take that time and not feel guilty, but have that conversation and say, babes, it's not that I want to roll out of bed and leave you in there. Of course, I want in there with you, but you're going to have a better wife tonight when we feel nice and rejuvenated and miserable, and not gonna have no headache and ready for the thing, So we really have to just own up to that and have those open conversations. That's the one plug I want to put in. When you're doing your me time, don't feel guilty. Have the conversation.
Love it, Ms Fabulous. As I said, we can talk to you all day, every day.
I know.
As you come with such vibe. Tam, is there anything else that you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I'm just saying that, Fabian has given us some really practical ideas here, all of which we're beginning to explore. I feel like this is the season for it. We've come out of a period where we realize that tomorrow isn't promised, and we all work so hard all the time. And, we need to enjoy the fruits of our labor while we're still here and around to enjoy it. Right? So I encourage everybody, you know how for the Lunar New Year, and it's the year of the rabbit or the year after, this is the year of me. Okay? Yes! Let us make this the year of me.
Of me.
Or the year of we. We are going to do something.
Yes.
So, fam, we, as usual, Fabian, we enjoy having you. Definitely, we know you're going to be back because you are always welcome. And we thank you for your insight today. And just hope that it will enlighten and inspire and encourage someone to do something different this year. So, fam, this is it for us for this session of Real Talk with Shan and Tam. As usual, you can find us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Real Talk with Shan and Tam. Find us on Spreaker, and find us on Spotify and iHeartRadio podcasts, as well as on our YouTube page, Shan and Tam. All the episodes are there. So until next time, y'all walk good, take care, and we'll talk to you again.
Bless up, fam.
Don't forget to visit Shan and Tam on all their social media websites. At Sisters Shan and Tam on Instagram, Shan Tam Lodge-Lee on Facebook, and check out their blogs at shanandtam.blogspot.com. Tune in again next time on Real Talk.